good, stood tall with a brilliant 106, while Harry Brook fell heartbreakingly short of a century. Out for 99 runs, but that was for India. Jasprit Bumrah, however, stole the show. And he picked up his five-fer against. You must realize that he's picked up 14 five-fers, out of which 12 are when he's visiting outside his country. Well, that was for now. Prasidh Krishna impressed with 3 wickets. Of course, he got slammered, hammered all across the park. In fact, he has become very infamous as he's managed to notch the most expensive spell in the history of Indian Test cricket with the average of over 6 runs. 20 overs, some 120 odd runs, but that was a different thing altogether. The third Indian keeper Pant has become in terms of his batting and bowling. Batting and the catches, I beg your pardon, but India has slight edge in today's. There's still plenty of unfold. On day 4 promises to be even more exciting. Of course, I'm joined by 3 off-spinners in this team. Of course, Shvandev Singh, the former Indian off-spinner, who's been a selector himself, who's currently chilling out in the Himalayas, Uttarakhand, somewhere I can see the mountains there. John Niambu, of course, in his first match, took 5. And who were the 5-ers? I mean, you've got the A.B. de Villiers, the Faf du Plessis, the Mark Bouchers of the world, and then Noel David, the off-spinner, who's been a coach now. Welcome, gentlemen, on the show. Let me get the youngest of them all, Shvandev Singh. Of course, Shvandev, let's understand, India doesn't even have a single spinner and an off-spinner to go in with that. Forget Ravindra Jadeja, but don't you feel a little awkward at a place where India doesn't go into bowl without a replacement of Ravichandra Ashwin? Your views, Shvandev?
Yeah, but I don't think so. It's a bad news, but it's a good news for me also. If I lose a bit of weight, so I still can be a comeback. I still making a comeback. Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, when Ravichandra and Ashwin is still on playing Sunil, we never even being seen for an off-spinner. There are few in playing in domestic cricket. Tanish Kotian, he's the new one. He's with the Indian team. He's from Mumbai. But he's a good off-spinner, but still, I don't think so. The management still feel that he's one of the best who can play into the test side before Kuldeep Yadav. I don't know why the management doesn't look up Kuldeep Yadav. He's one of the most finest spinners we have in the world cricket. I mean, all 3 formats, he's one of the best spinners in the world cricket. He spun the ball, he flights the ball, he deceives the batsman, and he's the one who look after to get the batsman out. Not the one that wicket will do something and he'll get the wicket. He's not a kind of that spinner. And because you see in the playing 11, Shardul Thakur, I don't know what he's doing in the playing 11. I mean, what he did, he bowled on his 6 overs. And look at the England batters, they scored around 470 runs. Still, he got only 6 overs to bowl. That means you have not shown confidence. Shubman Gill have not shown confidence in him. So that's why the most of the bowling did by Jasprit Bumrah. Like you said, always he's the only one. He's the one-man army for Indian team. And rest are just not even helping him.
Well, we'll talk about the stats and the details in a while. Let me ask John Niambu, you are in England right now. How is the weather there? We expect some kind of rain throughout the day as well. What is your understanding of it? Because yesterday, rain brought an early end to the day with 90 for 2. How much does it hold the play and how much does it exactly get into the problems of a play? Your views, John Niambu.
Weird, because at the beginning of the week, oh man, sorry for that, Sunil. Thank you very much for having me on your show. Very rude of me not to acknowledge that. But yeah, it's weird that at the beginning of the week, this week was meant to be a heat wave kind of week. That's why when I saw the forecast, I thought maybe England was going to pick 2 spinners, but then it changed. It became a bit cooler, a bit of showers, and we're seeing that there's a bit of rain. And as a player, when you look at the forecast, when you ask the people around what's happening, you get one thing, and then the next thing happens. It's a bit confusing because you're trying to formulate means and ways of getting into the game, weather-wise, conditions-wise, but then you have to change. So now your professionalism will be tested on how you're going to be able to adapt. If there's a bit of rain, there could be some stop-starts, which could affect the flow of the game, and to be important that each player, not only the Indians, but also the English guys, will be able to stay focused when need be, know when to switch off, know when to make sure that when the game is starting, they are switched on, because today is a very, very important day in the context, not only of this first test match, but of the series. I was saying to Noel David before we got online that the first hour will determine where this test match and this series is going to go. Whoever wins that hour has put the foot right in front of giving themselves an opportunity to get a good result in this game.
Well, Noel David, we seem to be evenly poised, 90 plus runs with the fall of 2 wickets. We already have some of the best days for us. The kind of scoring that has happened is very brisk, but at the same time, do you foresee the cluster collapse that India has gone through and that is causing a little bit of a problem to the Indian batting? Your views on this, Noel David. Then we move on to Shvandev Singh for some pithy questions.
As John said, rightly, it's the first hour. Very, very important on the fourth day, because that sets the tone to the rest of the day. If early wickets fall, and that's where we get a lot of pressure, the worry what comes into play, because Rahul is the main guy, Shubman Gill is there, then followed by other batsmen who are coming to. They need to know and understand how important this 4 days, because anything from here, early wickets will end the show for the Indian team, because the bowling attack is good. That's why even the management must be worried, because this has happened on a lot of occasions with the Indian team, where the first innings we brilliantly batting display is shown, but when it comes to the second inning, where we unfold our stories, where our batting sometimes collapse like 9 pins or all that. But it is very, very important that they take this thing into the 4th day, have a bit of patience, play session-wise session and get that day through, so that, they will be sitting pretty well at the end of day's play.
Well, very, very nicely put. We'll be sitting pretty at the end of the day. The day has unfolded really well for India, but at the same time, you've got to look at Sai Sudarshan. His second innings, and of course, Karun Nair, the first inning. Shvandev Singh, would it be a problem for someone who's been out for 8 years? Karun Nair, we are talking about, he comes back and plays the absolute rash shot. What would you, as a selector, go around telling him, keep a hand on his shoulder and say, "Bhai, kar kya raha hai?"
Yeah, definitely. Means it's shocking for everyone. When you're getting a chance after 8 years, and you picked up ahead of Shreya Iyer, who's in a fabulous form. You picked ahead of Sarfaraz Khan, who last test match against New Zealand, he scored 150. Then you got 60 odd, and still you got picked up into the squad. Just go inside and take your time. The way you played that shot, it just looked like that you are in a bit of hurry, because so many partnerships already happen, and sometimes when you're batting at number 6 and still waiting for your turn, when my turn will come, when I get some runs, when the pressure will go off, and the pressure is shown on his face, absolutely. The rash shot he's played, I don't know what's happening wrong with him. Means if I were the selector, even the captain also, Shubman Gill, even Gautam Gambhir, he's coach, he's pretty aggressive coach, and he's going to ask, but okay, we picked you up. There's so many talks about us in the selection committee about yourself, and look at the way you're playing the shot, and you're waiting for, okay, let's see, second inning will come or not, or what happened. The condition, the match which are right now at this moment, I think Karun Nair is in a big pressure right now. If the first session, 2-3 wickets gone, okay, this is a big test for him today also.
Absolutely, big test for him, because he's already pointed out, Shvandev Singh, the former selector of the Indian cricket team, he said that Shreyas Iyer has been waiting in the wings. So is Sarfaraz Khan. Let's move our focus on to something even more important. England's second innings bowling efforts, Kars and Stokes. Johnny Ambu, do you think it's kind of a little strange when Ben Stokes emerges as the top bowler in a side? I mean, this would have been incomprehensible a couple of years ago with Stuart Broad and Anderson. Suddenly you have this from a giant to a midget coming and becoming the lead bowler. Do you think both the sides lack the punch and the bite in the bowling? Your views?
I think both sides are going on a transition of some sort. I mean, take a look at the English side. They've just lost James Anderson and Stuart Broad in a short space of time. And the beauty that they had was Ben Stokes has been in the wings. He has been playing with them, he has been bowling, and he's been learning And now as captain, it's his turn to pass it on to the likes of Brendan Cars, to the likes of Chris Wokes, who yes has been a senior bowler, but he hasn't been playing a lot because of his injuries. And Ben Stokes has taken that opportunity to step up as the captain, to step up as the leader, to lead the way. And for India as well, Bumrah is just being Bumrah. I'm getting tired of talking about Bumrah because from the IPL we spoke about Bumrah. Now we're going into Test cricket or speaking about Bumrah. That's the quality that these two teams have, and it's on the younger guys to be able to learn as much as possible from this senior, more established player, so that transition doesn't take longer than necessary. So it's good that they've got these two guys, Bumrah for India, Stokes for England, who are doing the job. That's enabling the younger guys. I mean, Krishna, yes, he went for some runs, but he was able to get 3 wickets, and the 3 wickets for him will be a confidence booster for the next Test match. Brendan Cars, Josh Tang, they got wickets as well. So it's a good little period for both teams that they're getting youth playing and being held by some of the more experienced players. The question is, how long will it take for them to fully learn that craft, and so that they now make this transition very smooth and as seamless as possible?
Well, absolutely. Noel, David, let's shift our focus to the batting of English cricketers. Oli Pope and Harry Brooks. The century, of course, was brilliant. Pope scored 106 runs, faced 137 deliveries with 2 sixes and 14 fours. I mean, when you look at it, it looks completely different. And look at Brook, who scored 99 runs at 112 deliveries with 2 sixes and 11 fours. When you look at a batting average of around 80s and 90s in a test match, do you feel do you actually get frightened by the way and the pace that these boys have been hammering Indian bowlers all across? And the second question is it perhaps the weakest test bowling attack India has had in the last 20 years? Your views? Noel David, bite the bullet.
Looks, Sunil, I think Oli Pope has been a thorn to the Indian team. He's always been consistent against the Indian bowling attack. He's got 175 when we played them back at home, and now a century again against the Indians in England. That shows how consistent and how much he likes the Indian bowling attack. You know, if you see his batting, he keeps it very simple. You know, when the ball is there, he hits it, and if it's not, he respects it. That's the way he takes. And the mindset of the English batting team has changed quite a few years once McCullum took over as the coach. You know, the pass ball thing, which has started, not to fear to take the attack to the opposition all the time. That's what Brook and Oli Pope has done it during this first innings. And I like the way this young lad, Brook, has played for his 99. Highly spoken lad in the England side because of his batting aggression. The way he takes the opposition bowlers at an ease. He's got a various range of shots. I love the way he pulled, which even got him out. But the way he attacks, the lofted shots when he played for the spinners, fearless batting, and I feel that this is the mindset of the English team which has been brought into the side. I don't think it's a weak bowling attack by the Indians. Yes, we always spoke highly about Bumrah. Let's focus on Siraj also. I think yes, Siraj was out of form. In this inning, I felt that he was not up to that mark what we all expected of Siraj, getting the ball swing, and especially with Duke ball, you can swing the ball. He was not there. He was hammered also. But Pradesh Krishna, I can have a little sideline to him because he's just playing his third or test match, and first time in England, bowling to such attack, could have been a little pressure on him. He bowled his heart out. He got hammered. He got 3 wickets. But I think this is the future attack, what we have at present. And once Bumrah goes, then these are the guys which will take the bowling attack for the near future of the Indian cricket bowling unit.
Well, Shvandev Singh, this is a very concerning time right now. Let me read out Prasidh Krishna's 20 overs, 128 runs, 3 wickets. He's got conceded 14 boundaries and 6 fours. Why we are saying this? Because in the history of Test cricket, this is the most expensive bowler that you're seeing right now, Prasidh Krishna. Mohammad Siraj is not far off. 27 overs, 122 runs, 2 wickets, 1 sixes he's conceded, and he's conceded 17 boundaries. When you look at those figures on your screen, I'm going to ask you again, is it the weakest Test bowling attack India has fielded in the last 25 years?
Especially with the fast bowlers, yes, definitely you can say that. And we talk about Mohammad Siraj. He's with the Indian team from last 4 or 5 years. He's playing all 3 formats. He's well experienced. He's with Jasprit Bumrah. He's with Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He's with Mohammad Shami. He played a lot of cricket with all these senior fast bowlers. But still, I always feel when he comes to the Test matches, his length is not actually suitable for the Test match cricket. He bowled too much short bowling. Even yesterday, 9th wickets, they are hammering Stephen Vokes and other batsmen. He's keep hammering them boundaries and keep laughing. I don't know why he's laughing all the time and what he's thinking, or just focus on the game. I never see any fast bowler from Kapil Dev to Jasprit Bumrah. If some tailhander's hammering you and you keep on laughing, I don't know what's wrong with him. Just Maury Mughal has to come in and say, okay, focus on your game because we are losing it. Because at that time, the 55 partnership, it won't happen. Then India must be taken a lead of 90 runs. And today, India was 180 for 2. But look at the difference what you guys are doing it. And Prasidh Krishna means he's with the part of the scheme of things from last 6 to 7 years. When I was a selector, I VP'd him. But only thing I always talk to the captains at that time, and what my view is, Prasidh Krishna is never been your Test bowler because he's very tall. His length is too much short. It's not the one who bowled further. He don't swing the ball much. That's why the people, the other team members, they know he's not a swing bowler. He's just going to hit the length hard. So that's why they keep playing him short. That's why he's one of the most expensive bowlers. Anywhere he will play, he goes so many runs. That's fine. He got a wickets also, 2 or 3 wickets. But if bowling 20 overs and giving 128 or 30 runs and getting 3 wickets, that's not going to help it out. You're not helping Jasprit Bumrah. You're putting too much pressure on Jasprit Bumrah all the time. Shubman Gill, all over the ground, he keep on watching everywhere. He finds all the time Jasprit Bumrah, okay, you come in. Okay, you come in. We saw Shardul Thakur yesterday 2 or 3 times. He comes out, he takes off his sweater, give it to the umpire, said, okay, stop, let Bumrah comes in again. He got the wickets. Even yesterday, then why you have to see why Shardul Thakur is playing then? Why putting so much pressure on Jasprit Bumrah all the time? You are not going to take time in international cricket and you have to play 50, 20 Test matches. Then you said, okay, now we get the experience, now we can take it. No. You will end up in the losing side also.
When we heard something about Albert Pinto ko gussa kyun aata hai, but here Shvandev Singh ko gussa theek aata hai, we can put it like that. John, I'm going to loosely put it to you that he's the former Indian selector who's very concerned about the Indian batting, bowling, of course, the attack that we've had. Take a step back. Let's look at what's in store for today. England's lower orders resilience as compared to India's cluster collapse after the 7 wickets that fell down for 41 runs. Despite losing established batters, England's lower order, particularly Vokes, who scored 38, and Bryden Cars 22, showed significant resistance, contributing valuable runs. And as Charandeep rightly put it, that India's lead could have gone big. My question to you, John Nyombu, is do you think England is digging it out? They're playing the ugly, dirty cricket of just leaving the deliveries that they can't score and then suddenly onslaught attack. What is your view on this, John?
I think the English lineup has got a vast array of different kind of batters who for this game have played well in their own nature. I mean, we spoke about, Lord Davis spoke about Ollie Pope. Ollie Pope played the anchor role where he was just batting, while everyone else was taking the attack to the bowling. And when they did that, we saw how under pressure the Indian bowling was and how it enforced them to make those errors, not only with the bowling, but also with the fielding. This could have been a different story had Bumrah not overstepped for that no ball to get Harry Brook, had Jaiswal not dropped 2 catches So it could have been a different story. But England at the moment are backing themselves with the way they are batting that they can chase anything up to maybe 350 on the last day, because that's what the stat says, that batting on day 4 and day 5 here at Headingley is quite easy, and teams like chasing. So England will be backing themselves with the way they are batting, with their lineup, with that personnel, to be able to go all out guns blazing in their own different ways to try and ensure that England get the result. And it's evenly poised. It's going to be an interesting day. And as I always say, as fans, as pundits, as cricket enthusiasts, if we're entertained when Test cricket is playing, everyone is happy. And today is going to be such a day.
Absolutely. Today is going to be the day. Today is the fourth day between India and England at the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy, with India at 90 for 2, leading with 96 runs. What will be the key moments? I'm going to ask Noel David, who's seen the test matches very closely as a fan, as a player, and also as a critic. What is your assessment of the individual battles that come out between the two players? Who do you think from India is going to shine or should dig their heels in and take on the attack to the opposition? Noel David. And then I'm going to come to John Nyambu later.
It's very, very important that KL Rahul and Shubman Gill steady the ship from here onwards. I think this is the key important batsmen at present when they start off the day 4. Because as Sarindip rightly said about Karun Nair, the pressure will be on him because after 8 years he's coming back and then playing that shot or not. He's he will be coming with a lot of pressure if he gets that this thing. So I feel that it is very important for the captain to come in, because we know Rishabh Pant is there, but at the same time we know how he plays also. So that will be a little fear for the Indian management and the coach sitting outside, because we cannot this thing on Rishabh Pant, because if he gets going and if he gets that 50-60, then we know yes, he can go, but the way he plays always gives the heart attack all the time, because his scoop shot, the shots, what he plays, always we will be jumping or we'll be on the chairs all the time. So I think key point, Shubman Gill and KL Rahul start of the inning, will be the important because they have to steady the ship. They need to play session by session.
Well, let me ask you, let me hold you there respectfully and ask you again. Noel, do you think this match is for India to lose from here and not win? If they play badly, they'll lose. If they play good, they can still salvage. Am I right to ask you this question?
Absolutely, yes. As John and we were saying, any early wicket from here, I think that's the end of the road for the Indian team. Anything Shubman Gill or KL Rahul goes, I think then the pressure, it starts mounting on the other batsmen who come, because they know anything 150, 170 or 250, these English guys can get it because of the way they bat or the batting style. Because as Sarindip said, we cannot put the pressure on all the time on Bumrah to get 10 wickets. It is not possible. He is a human. So from here, it is all about KL Rahul and Shubman Gill going out there and trying to stay there and trying to play session by session. Otherwise, India can lose this test match from here.
Well, the writing is on the wall. Before we wrap up our show, let me get in John Nyambu here in a very philosophical and an emotional manner. John, do you see the lack of off-spinners? Of course, we had 3 off-spinners on our show. And one thing that comes out, do you rue the fact that there are no quality off-spinners in the test match any longer? I mean, after the Saeed Ajmal post-retirement and Murli Dharan, you didn't have anyone. Saklain, and Ravichandra Ashwin. What do you have to talk about that? The loss of off-spinners.
I think the sad reality is the white ball format, especially the T20s and the T10s, have kind of had people neglecting off-spin because they feel off-spin is the easiest to hit and everyone wants to get at the off-spinner, which in turn makes the off-spinners change the way they bowl. Off-spinners are now darting the ball, not going for runs, just not as attacking as Ashwin did, as Nathan Lyon does, as Graham Swan did. And I think modern cricket should still have a place for off spin, but give them a little bit of a bigger margin to be able to do what they do best, which is bowl that nicely looped ball outside off stump, trying to get one through the gate, trying to get one going through the arm, not getting off spinners to be guys that just come, bowl darts at a length, just contain. Off spinners are attacking bowlers, off spinners are wicket taking bowlers. Now the notion is left arm spin and leg spin is the in thing, but I think there's still a place for off spinners if teams give off spinners a little bit of time, if teams give off spinners a little bit of leeway to be able to bowl the way they bowl to be successful. Another thing is now the notion is if a batter can bowl a little bit of off spin, then we can have two players in one. We can have a batter and someone who'll be able to give us a few overs. England did that a little bit with Joe Root. Australia going the Bo Webster way, but there's still a room. And from an off spinner's perspective, I'm sure the two other gentlemen here would attest to that there's still room for that, because we can get at lefties, we can still bowl with that craft, we can still flight the ball, and that is the key. Off spinners, and if there are younger guys that are watching this, keep flighting the ball, keep bowling that challenging line. Even if you get hit for six, I remember I had a chat with Harbhajan Singh when they once came to Zimbabwe. I'm like, what do I need to do as an off spinner? Like, John, keep tossing the ball up. If you get hit for six, everyone expects you to get hit for six, because everyone loves hitting off spinners for six. But then if you get the wicket, then you're the man. So off spinners, keep believing you are the ones that can change the game. Keep honing your craft and keep going, and off spinners will definitely be back with a bang.
Well, absolutely. We've got the final word from Noel David. 30 seconds, Noel David. What's your view? Do we see the achhe din for the off spinners in the near future?
I'm really waiting on to see some good off spinners coming back into this fold. We lost out, and we are losing out. Yes, because as John rightly says, the white ball cricket, and I hope Sarindip, my good friend, also will agree in this, because after Sarindip or after Harbhajan or there's no Ashwin, I don't think that we have any off spinner. Yes, they may be in the domestic series circle, but I think the opportunities, as John said, need to be given to these youngsters to come through in this line. And I hope we will come soon with some good quality off spinners playing in the Indian team or the other sides also.
Well, absolutely. Hope is all that we believe, and hope is all that we live for. Well, that's all we had time for this wonderful show called Cricket Predictor, brought to you by 1xBet. This is Sunil Yashkalra requesting you not to change the channel. Don't go anywhere else. We'll be back after a short commercial break.
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर, या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया न्यूज़ का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त, मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे पत्रकारिता की दुनिया का वो चमकता चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी। अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर, या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया न्यूज़ का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त, मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे पत्रकारिता की दुनिया का वो चमकता चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी।
आज न